Hello, my name is W.P. Suazo, and I want to talk to you about completing the Keynesian cross. Now, on the left here, we have a Keynesian cross graph. Consumption is measured vertically. This is what we consume. That's where we measure consumption. Income is measured horizontally. Actual income, which some books call the 45-degree line, some other books call it aggregate supply, begins here at origin and proceeds at a slope of 1.0. The consumption function begins at autonomous consumption. And what that means is if a system, an economy, a country is inactive, there's still some basic bare bones amount that it's expected to subsist from. So if we're inactive as humans, we still need something to live from. And as we start making some output, as our income is positive, many books call this disposable income, but I'll make no mention of taxes, so it's income. So as we become active, our consumption rises, but our savings grace is this. The income function is steeper than the consumption function, and we have a chance of making ends meet, being able to make what we consume. And that's what short-run equilibrium is. Short-run equilibrium is where we make what we consume, and anything prior to short-run equilibrium, we're using more than what we make, and anything beyond it, we make more than what we use. I know there's a lot of talk in the press about these economies, especially Asian economies that have these perpetual trade surpluses. Well, they are perpetually someplace here beyond short-run equilibrium because they make more than what they use, and they just year after year after year export that as a trade surplus. So MPC is 0.75. Well, let's write that down. If we consume 75% of our output, then we save 0.25 of our output. Okay. Short-run equilibrium. Short-run equilibrium is connected to autonomous consumption through this identity up here, and it says short-run equilibrium equals autonomous consumption divided by NPS. I'm going to rewrite that. I will repeat it. So short-run equilibrium equals autonomous consumption divided by NPS. So if we take the information provided, NPS is 0.25 because we're spending 75%. Autonomous consumption is the vertical intercept of the consumption function, which is this line right here. That line written out is this right there. So autonomous consumption, if we have no income, if income is zero, this element here zeroes out. We still have autonomous consumption. Well, there it is. So it's 40. As we know, if we solve this by multiplying top and bottom by 4, we get 160. All right. And yes, 160 is our short-run equilibrium. Okay. Let me not forget to mention APCs and APSs. I will do that. All right, now let's take this first level of income. This first level of income is 100. So looking at this here, we know consumption equals 0.75 of income plus autonomous consumption, which we know to be 40. So if income is 100, we plug it in, 0.75 of 100 plus 40 equals 75 plus 40. And that equals 115. So what does this mean? When income is 100, we spend 115. We spend 115. We have savings of negative 15 or debt of 15. All right. What about equilibrium? Let's see. Short run equilibrium. So 0.75 of 160. 0.75 of 160. Let me get that 0 in there. All right, equals what? So we're going to have 120 plus 40, and that equals 160. That equals 160. So when our income is 160, our consumption is 160. Our third example. What about income of 200? Let's have a look. So we are going to spend 75% of our income, which at this level is 200, plus 40. Always 40, 40, 40, 40. So this equals 150 plus 40. What is 140? What is 150? Pardon me, 150 is 75% of 200. Many books call this induced consumption, consumption that is induced by income. Total consumption is 190. So income 200, consumption 190, savings plus 10. Completing the Keynesian cross. Now, lest I forget, APC, APS, let's see about those. APC, APS. APC is consumption over income. APS is savings over income. So let's take a look here. For income 100, we will have income 100 under 115. So at this level of income here, our APC equals 1.15, right? 1.15. At short run equilibrium, we have them both being the same at 160. So there, our APC equals 1.0. And finally, at income 200, we spend 190. And that works out to be 0.95, if my math serves me correctly. 0.95. So as we see, as our income increases, our APC falls. Anything inside of short run equilibrium has an APC greater than 1. Anything beyond outside of short run equilibrium has an APC less than 1. So APC is actually shrinking as the economy becomes busier. What about APS? Well, APS is this different. So if APC is 1.15, APS is 0.15, APS is 0, APS here is 0.05. APC plus APS equal 1. So negative 15 over 100. Where do those numbers come from? Well, APS is defined as savings over income. When income here is 100, the savings is negative 15. This APS equals negative 0.15. Negative 0.15 plus 1.15 equals 1.0. Here it equals 0 at short run equilibrium over anything. Finally, let's take a look here. This will help me verify this decimal I came up with. When income is 200, when income is 200, we save 10, and that's 5%. 5 and 0.95 equal 1. Now, one last thing we shall do here is verify MPC. Let us verify MPC. Well, let me give you MPC. Change in consumption over change in income equals MPC. So let's take a look here. Between 100 and 160 is a change in income of 60. But we see that spending or consumption got to 160 from 150. Consumption got to 160 from 115. So we have 45 over 60. We have 45 over 60. If we divide both parts by 15, we get 0.75. And 0.75 is the MPC. Okay, I hope this helps with shedding some light on the Keynesian cross. It is quite a unit. I've been working with the Keynesian cross for quite some time. So I'll have other videos about the Keynesian cross, and thank you for watching.